Welcome to the Blue Stage Podcast, the podcast where Northeast Ohio theater takes center stage. Brought to you by Blue Macaroon Theater Company, located in Doylestown, Ohio. Blue Macaroon Theater is an intimate black box style performance art space where stories come alive just a few feet away, and every voice matters. Blue Macaroon Theater also offers theater, voice, and music lessons. For more information, tickets, and a full list of upcoming events, go to bluemacaroontheater.com. That is bluemacaroontheater.com. On our inaugural episode here, we are shooting live from room 2, talking to some of our most legendary local talent. Currently in rehearsals for the upcoming production of The Missing Case of Lady Abernathy, we welcome Tara Martens and Jodie Amiot.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hey.
We're so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you guys too. Tara.
Yes, hi.
is a rising playwright and director, wearing both hats for this completely original production. And Jodie takes center stage as the starring role of Daphne Mills. You may recognize her from our productions of Blithe Spirit or the 24-Hour Theater Festival, among others. Thanks for being here, guys. What's going on?
Happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you guys. It's very cool to get this thing started. First episode.
Absolutely. It's very neat. And it's neat because a lot of times with theater stuff, it's, these people are doing this show that's well known. And the first show is about a show that nobody has literally never heard of.
So speaking of that, why don't you tell us a little bit about the show that you wrote, Tara?
Okay. I wrote it during COVID. This was kind of my COVID project. We were talking about it last night. Actually, I don't actually remember it being written because I was in that weird COVID fog of just, this is life now.
Survival mode.
Absolutely survival mode. So that was a little interesting. But no, it's just a play about a theater that is just trying to survive. Like so many theaters are trying to figure out what to do during COVID, the couple years post COVID.
Yeah.
Because I know that struggle was real for a lot of theaters. A lot of theaters closed down during that time. I had just started to work with Orville Community Theater, and they lost their theater space during COVID because the rent tripled in price. And they're still a little bit struggling trying to find another space for them. So this is part of that. That's part of Daphne's story, is just keeping this theater that has meant so much to not only the community alive, but to her and her father. This is what she has left of her father, because he was the one who was the original owner. And so rehearsals for this show are not going as well as poor Daphne would like. She's got good actors, but they can't get their lives together. Exactly. We've got people that are fighting, people that are flirting. They think they're being very suave and under the table about the flirting, but they're not.
We got egos getting in the way.
Yes. As you often do with theater, there's there's ego clashing.
And of course, some backstage crew that can't keep their act together either.
Yeah. Yes, we have I call them my gremlins. They have gremlin energy, as Mac Chessie, and then Topher does his best. So but yes, it is just a story about the final rehearsal before the preview, and just things aren't going right. And then to add on top of all of the insanity of Daphne needs this show to go well, the landlord has died and the new landlord is going to raise the rent, which is not good because this is a struggling theater at this time.
Sure.
And so then it's just about sort of the little bit of the breakdown of what happens, and then the theater finally getting their act together and rallying around to help Daphne get her dream come true.
That's beautiful, and I'm sure it hits home for a lot of people in our theater community.
Yeah, I hope it does. I hope it does.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure it will.
I hope so.
So, is this your first foray into playwriting, or have you done stuff like this before?
I've written stuff before. I have a creative writing degree from Wright State University.
Wow.
And I actually took a class on writing 10-minute plays. So I've got a little bit of a background on that. So I have a couple of those. I did the 24-hour theater this past January for the first time. I'd always wanted to do it. And I got to, I wrote the Siglione's Never Say Die, which Jodie actually directed. We were paired up. I got to write, she got to direct it.
It was the most fun experience ever. And I think that the chemistry we were able to develop in that process has really set the stage for this relationship too, in a lot of ways. Absolutely. It was really great.
Yeah. And I apologize for Jodie's voice. Daphne does some freakouts, and poor Jodie has lost her voice a little bit.
We're going to be fine. It's good. It's good.
We are chugging all the tea.
Good. We got to stay healthy for this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
We'll boost some volume in post for her.
Sounds good. But this was the, I've written bits and pieces of other full-length plays, but this is the first one that is, I feel, is done, is completed, I've had 3 table reads with different groups of friends that have seemed to really like it. And my most recent one, Dan, Jodie's husband, was in it. It was at my birthday party, and I was like, everybody here's act. Let's just read my play because I said so. And everybody's like, okay, that sounds fun. And Dan said this was a couple months after the Incubator series had been announced. And he said, you need to send this into Matt and Christy for the Incubator series. And I was like, you really think it's like decent enough to be put on stage? And he said, absolutely. And I sent it into Christy, and Christy said, cool, this is going to be the Incubator spot for 26. And I was like,
amazing. Well,
okay, cool, I guess.
Congratulations, by the way.
You.
That's super exciting.
Yeah, you always kind of have that fear as a writer of, like, I think my stuff's good. I hope other people think it's good. And also everybody that is in the show or has been involved is, I'm very good friends with them. So there's always that fear of they're just being nice. They're just telling me it's good because they don't want to hurt my feelings. And everybody swears that's not true. So we'll see what audiences say. And hopefully they'll actually be like, no, this was good. I'm like, all right.
You had winked enough of us in here to audition. So
that's true.
We're putting it on one or the other.
Well, the good thing about that is you have chemistry, I'm sure, with everyone in the production too.
Yeah, the only one I've worked with everybody that's in the show. I have worked with previously at least once, except for Bailey Major, who is playing the playwright Brian Chance. He wrote the Missing Case of Lady Abernathy, the show that is being put on by Daphne, and he's the only one I have never worked with before. But again, the whole cast has gotten along really well, and everybody has just fit into this little niche that it makes it feel like we have all, even though I have worked with everybody, it feels like everybody has worked together before. It's been really, really neat.
Amazing. Shout outs to the cast of Lady Abernathy. What about direction? Is this your first time directing, or have you done some of that before in the past?
This is my first time directing what I'll call a passion project.
Cool.
I directed a kids show for Orville Community Theater. It was called Laugh-In School, which was a lot of fun. But again, it was we want you to direct a kids show. Go pick your kids show. So, okay. The other time I got directing credit for Orville Community Theater's Leading Ladies. And that is because I was stage managing and the director had to step in as one of the major roles. So I kind of co-directed that, but he gave me full director credit, which I should not have gotten, but thank you for that, Josh. I love you. And then I've also directed another kids show at Medina County Showbiz. And again, that was we're directing the kids show. This is the kids show you are directing. So I have had director experience. Like I said, it's never been a passion project. It's never been something that I approached a theater and was like, hey, let me do this thing. So it's totally different when you get to do something that you're very, very, very excited about. You feel that deep connection to, and you come into it with it. This is the exact vision that I have for this show, as opposed to, okay, let me read this. Okay, cool. I see where I can go with it. It's been an interesting directing style for me.
Well, thank you for that, Tara.
You are welcome.
We had a little bit of an audio snafu, but we got it all fixed. Jodie, why don't you tell me about your time playing Daphne?
Well, it kind of happened accidentally in some ways. Not really, but so I was on the fence about auditioning, but I really, really, really wanted to be a part of this project because Tara wrote it. And I knew this was like a once in a lifetime opportunity because this is the first time and only time it will be the debut of this show.
Yeah.
So, the other part of this project that's kind of really fun for me personally is that it's actually the very first time that my husband and I get to act on stage together.
What? That's crazy.
He's directed me before and we've worked on productions before, but we've never gotten to act together on stage because we have 4 kids.
Sure.
So it's like you can't be involved in something at the same time. So that part on a lead-in personal level was really a cool thing because we've gotten to do this together. But Daphne's just, I think she's kind of an every woman character. And anyone who's ever cared so much about something that their whole life is behind it will resonate with her. Because everything she's done up to this point in her life has led her to this moment. And you can see where she's kind of on this precipice of either it's going to work or she's going to lose everything. And it really, the hope is that everybody in the audience who's ever truly cared about something will resonate with that and that they'll feel her passion and her desperation and her just intensity coming through for that. So it's and I think for any of us in the theater world, we all can resonate with some of the things that the characters on stage are going through, like the normal challenges, i.e. finding enough guys to act, the uncontrollable issues about getting audience members willing to pay for a show, the challenge of, getting all the pieces to connect at the same time and work together as one big, wonderful experience, right? So there's analogies in the non-theater world for other things, but anybody who's been a part of that productive theater environment is going to say, oh my gosh, I feel myself somewhere on that stage, whether it's one of the actors, whether it's one of the techies, whether it's the playwright, whether it's Mrs. Hutchins, the new landlady, or whether it's Daphne. So that's the beauty of what Tara put together here, in that there's a little bit of everybody who's ever been part of a show on the stage, and hopefully somebody can see themselves somewhere there.
Awesome. I can't believe that I have a couple of people as my first set of interviews that are so well spoken. I mean, obviously, I'm just listening to these stories. So, Jodie, why don't you tell me something unique or something that you've noticed in Tara's direction style that you enjoy?
Tara, I love this. Tara is my favorite kind of director, although she's new in that she lets the actors be themselves. Like when she cast us, I think she cast us because she saw the character in our audition, and so that she's not trying to recreate us on stage. She's let us lean into our version and our personal interpretation of the character. Even though she wrote it, and that was something I didn't know what to expect. I've never been in a play that was directed by the writer, and I didn't know how that was going to play out, but she's really, truly let each of us lean into our version of the character. She encourages questions and feedback as far as that goes. We've had some in-depth character development sessions where we're like, what is our motivation and why are we doing what we're doing? What has led us to this point so far? So that's the beauty of what we've experienced thus far through the play process, is that she's really let us invent those characters on stage. They've never been done before.
Sure.
They've never been on any stage anywhere. So she's really been letting us kind of create and fulfill and finish the vision of what she wrote on the paper to have them come to life. And so that's my favorite part of her directing style.
Awesome. We love an actor's director, someone who can really
100%.
let the actors go and come up with decisions. That's my favorite kind of director
100%.
too. Tara, I'll ask you the same question. What's something that Jodie does on stage that's unique or that you enjoy?
I love the way she's playing Daphne, because the original iteration of Daphne for the original draft was much different. It was all passion all the time. She was always on the precipice of losing her mind. There was just so much high intensity drama, and she was a little bit mean. So that was during the first read through, the biggest feedback. Thank you, Jodie. The biggest feedback I got was make Daphne a little bit more likable, because you have to understand, well, if she's not likable, why are all these people rallying around her to keep this theater going? I was like, that's a brilliant question. So I was able to draw that a little bit more in the writing, but Jodie has really just brought that heart and soul of, you can see that Jodie, who loves doing theater and loves helping out, she like she said, she has 4 kids. She has helped with all of the high school productions that they've been a part of. Jodie loves the theater as much as Daphne loves the theater and wants it to succeed. And she really brings out that love and that passion, and especially towards the other actors and the other characters. You can see why people want to help Daphne, because Jodie shows how Daphne wants to help them. So that's why I love it so much. Yeah.
I love that answer. I love that answer so much. Okay. Why don't we switch gears here a little bit?
Okay.
What are some of your biggest influences artistically?
Ooh, okay.
It doesn't have to be theater.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything.
It's interesting. Definitely for this, I've always wanted to write a farce play. Like, I love Noises Off, The Play That Goes Wrong. Like that's what I wanted to write. And there are aspects of this within that, especially like the very first scene, nothing goes right. So that's kind of the biggest influence for where the mishaps of the rehearsal process is going, but it does end up okay at the end, unlike, Noises Off or The Play That Goes Wrong, where it's just at the end, you just kind of accept your fate. This has a little bit of a better, does end a little bit better for everybody at the end. And I had just gotten into theater when COVID happened. My first, I did high school theater, but I was, our high school acting director did not like me very much. So I was always tech, which was fine. I love tech. I didn't think I ever wanted to be on stage. I was like, I'm a tech person. I like being a techie. And which is funny because my 2 favorite characters in the show are the two of the 3 tech people. One of them is based off of me in high school. So it's always been kind of interesting, that idea of, okay, how do you write yourself into a play? So I was like, well, we'll just do high school me tech. And so I had always been so techie. And then all of a sudden I got to be on stage and I loved it. And everybody was shocked that I had never been on stage before, that I'd always done tech. So I found this love, this passion. I got to do 3 shows in a row, and I was co-directing a 4th, and then COVID happened. And so it was just sort of this despair of, I want to relive this. And so that's it's so funny because I had mentioned last night, I was like, I don't remember how this came about, but the more we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, no, that's where this is coming from. The idea of, I miss this already. I want to relive it. How do I can't physically act right now. What can I do? I can write a play for it. I think maybe now we're talking about a stream of conscious of, oh, this is how Lady Abernathy came to be.
Sure.
But that's probably my biggest influence, for, this play.
Cool.
Was definitely those more of the farce aspects of stuff.
Well, first of all, color me surprised. You're such an outgoing person. I would have never assumed that you hadn't.
That's what everybody was like, what do you mean you didn't act? And I was like, I never acted. He didn't like me. That's my freshman year. We did, the high school did Midsummer Night's Dream, and every single person that auditioned for Midsummer Night's Dream got cast, except for one person.
Aw.
Yeah, that was me. And I got to go do costume and I loved it. But I was like, okay, apparently I'm really bad. I'm just going to go hang out with the tech people. It's fine. And I auditioned for, in 2019, I auditioned for a local playwright, Krista Wolf. She wrote a play called The Sonnenberg Story, and it was based off of the 200-year anniversary of the Mennonite settlers coming to Kidron, down by Worcester. And I was like, well, everybody that's auditioning for the show is descended from somebody, so I'll go run tech stuff for them. And she made me audition, and at the end she asked which of the female leads I wanted, and I was like, I've never been on stage, I have no idea. And everybody was like, this is your first time on stage? So now I'm just like, yay, acting. So I've gotten to do some tech stuff still. And now I've also gotten to step into the playwright and the director aspect. So I'm like, I get to do all the theater stuff. This is so cool.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's for breaking in, because
it's amazing.
I've worn the tech hat too, plenty of times, and I love it. It's a great time. I'm sorry that that was your early theater career.
Your early theater experience.
Being pigeonholed like that early can really, unless you're in the right environment, right place, right time, can really stop people from ever pursuing it at all.
Absolutely.
So I'm really glad that wasn't the case for you.
Yeah, because I actually I enjoyed the tech aspect in high school so much. I originally went for a technical theater degree. That's how much I loved it. I actually went for a technical theater degree, and then I did not like that program, so I dropped out and got a creative writing degree instead. But somehow still I have ended up doing tech and acting and stuff with the theater still. So which is fun.
I just want to thank you for supporting a theater like this.
I love it here.
The Blue Macaroon's super new.
I love it.
It's only been around for a couple of years.
I know,
and
3
it supports
years.
People. It supports a lot of artists that didn't have that opportunity like you.
Yes.
So I appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody else here does too. Jodie, how about you? What's some of your biggest artistic influences?
Oh gosh. That's a hard question. I think that I was a reader my whole life. I remember being in 5th grade and reading Jane Austen, and I was kind of the nerdy, quiet kid for the longest time. But it's like when you read that book, you got lost in another world that wasn't the reality, right? And the same thing, the first time I was a freshman in high school, and they were doing Macbeth. So first they were doing Biloxi Blues, and I auditioned for it. And I don't even remember what I auditioned for. I don't remember how the audition went, but I didn't make it in. It's a pretty small cast, if my memory serves. But I was walking in the hallway, and the director, who's also the AP Latin teacher, he stopped me. He's like, Jodie, right? He's like, we have auditions for Macbeth coming up. Make sure you audition. And I was like, how does this guy even know me? But I had auditioned for Biloxi Blues and didn't make it in. And that moment, it kind of those moments that change your life. Yeah. He took enough time to say, and I didn't even remember, I didn't know there was a Macbeth audition. I hadn't heard a little freshman wander around this big school, but I did audition for Macbeth. And I auditioned for one of the witches, and I come off stage, and one of the other freshmen was like, oh my God, what was that? Because I laughed on stage during the audition with what I determined to be a witch laugh. And the cackle, and this kid, he stopped me. He's like, do you have an agent or something? And I just remember thinking, oh, that's so funny. You're so funny. But I did. I got in as a freshman. I was witch number 1 in Macbeth, and then proceeded to go on and do a whole bunch of fun things in high school. And it's the same thing. When you step into that character, you're not yourself. You're not being yourself. You can take risks that Jodie wouldn't take, or Tara wouldn't take, or Tyler wouldn't take, because you're not that person. You're portraying somebody else. And it's that opportunity to let the audience travel with you. I know that not everybody's a reader. I know that not everybody loves getting lost in that world of fiction and literature and history, but I can give that to them for just a few minutes on stage when I'm in these roles. And somebody who might not have ever had the pleasure of reading Macbeth, I can help it come to life for them and give them that gift back. So while it's never been something specifically, I think it was my history of reading and just loving the world of what theater can become for somebody who's never experienced it. And then my goal was to give that same experience to my kiddos. So I spent 20 years not even being on stage because we had little kids. And then all of a sudden, like, they started getting more into things, which dragged us back into things. And then honestly, COVID got me back on stage because Avenue Arts was doing Steel Magnolias. And I think for any middle-aged woman, that's like your dream parts.
Sure.
And I'm like, well, things are still kind of shut down. Life is still on hold. We can't do all the things with the families that we're doing. So maybe I'll take this opportunity to try to get back on stage because I hadn't been on stage since high school.
Sure.
And I got cast as Clary in one of the casts of the Steel Magnolias at Avenue Arts. And it was amazing. It was just so much fun. It brought me right back to my high school days of being on stage. And I think every part I've done has kind of been like, I don't want to say reluctant, but like busy family stuff. It's like, okay, fine. Now Blue Macaroon is doing Steel Magnolias. I guess I have to audition. And then Blight Spirit, like one of the main actresses' father passed away. And so Dan was like, I need you to step up and help me if you can. I'm like, I'll do it. And I was able to act next to Tara and Jonathan. And so it's just that ability to share your gift with the world. And when you start to realize that you are relatively good at something, to want to draw other people in and share it with them and give them the experiences that they may not have otherwise, whether, to be transported.
Sure. Yeah. It marries the escapism of, your classic writing and reading with the connection that theater can give you. You've done a fantastic job, by the way. I've worked with every member of your family, I think, and they all do swell. I'm really glad that you have your opportunity to shine here.
I'm really glad too, because that's I wanted her to be Daphne a lot, because I was like, she'll be, and I had a lot of ladies that I have worked with that I was like, every single one of them would be a really good Daphne, but because Jodie wasn't sure if she could audition, if she could swing the time for it, because one of the kids graduated this year, so they're getting their daughter ready not only for her senior year, but also getting her ready for college. Right, she's flying out of the nest. So I was aware, I was like, okay, this may not be a good time for Jodie, but I was really glad when she did audition, because I was like, I was glad, because I was like, that's my Daphne. I just said it the day of. Was it the day of? Oh my gosh!
Like, I've been going back and forth between it for a while, but I was like, the day of, I'm like, I'm just going to regret it if I don't at least try.
Well, also, I want to give a shout out to Jodie, because Jodie learned the role of Ruth for Blithe Spirit in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, if she can handle that, she can handle anything that is thrown at her. So I know she will full-heartedly just be able to jump in as Daphne.
For anyone that hasn't been on stage before, 2 weeks to learn a whole part's worth of lines and blocking is a whole lot of work.
And also, Ruth is the second biggest role. So it wasn't like, okay, I'm stepping into a minor role. No, she was stepping into a very large role. Right. It was impressive watching Jodie just become Ruth and have to do it so quick, because, our other actress had 2 months to prepare for it, and Jodie had 2 weeks.
Right. So tell me about the set that's sitting behind us. How'd you come up with that?
Oh, yes. This is my Victorian parlor. I'm very excited. This is the biggest set that Blue Mac has put on. So I'm very glad that Papa Steve, as we call him, has been as excited to put the big set up as I have. So yes, part of it is your stereotypical Victorian home. So we are going to have a fireplace. We have a working window. We have working French doors. We will have a working chandelier in the dining aspect of it. And there will be pictures and books and knickknacks and pillows. And it's just, the less room the actors have to move around in, the more realistic it will be. Because one of my favorite descriptions in the script is my description of the stuffy, old-fashioned, overly full Victorian parlor. And basically what I wrote is what Steve is giving me, which is so cool. Because again, I kind of overshot a reach of my play, because there's a lot of very intricate special effects that happen, because this is a house with ghosts. So ghost things happen. And I was like, number one, if I get to put this on stage, it will have to be with a smaller theater, because no big theater is going to work with a person they've never worked with a play they've never worked with. And then they're going to read this and go, this woman is crazy. How does she expect a little theater to get all this together? And Christy read it and said, oh yeah, we'll put this on. Papa Steve can do anything. And Papa Steve is like, oh, do you want it to do this or this? And I was like, you can make it do that. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, cool, make it do that.
He's a wizard.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Cause he even was like, cause there was even stuff I didn't think about. And he's like, oh, we can do this. And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. Can you make that happen? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, cool. So
you wouldn't think, with how little this space is, that you could come up with so many original set designs.
So many original set designs. It's amazing. I love it. And I know some of the ideas I got, we used for when we did Blythe Spirit, which again has ghost hauntings in it. So I was able to take some of those aspects, be like, okay, we did this in Blythe Spirit. Now let's just amp it up 10 times.
I think that, how do I want to phrase this? I think that kind of idea of, it's the Blue Macaroon itself that has created all these opportunities. Like, the theaters just, and Matt and Christy specifically, the theaters become an entity because of them. But they have this can-do attitude. Like, there is nothing we can't at least think about tackling.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a unique opportunity because they are the theater. So they are the ones who can make the decisions and pick the people and let new artists try things. And it's like, they became from this vision of, oh, we're going to be a small community theater to, okay, we're a community theater that has huge productions and small, underrated, not known productions. And we've reinstituted the 24-hour theater, which has been a thing in this area for a long time that we've been able to bring back to the stage. And they have the amazing local artists that are now, people come here just so they can hear that local music scene. And they have the little fun community events like the karaoke and the movies. And it's just the paint and sips. It's become this local entity that, while I don't think we're quite to the point where people are like, oh yeah, I've been there, they are like, wait, I've heard of them. And that's where we're currently going. And it's because of that mindset that Matt and Christy have brought to the community, where we want this to be a place that people can come and be in the arts and try new things, the piano lessons, the music lessons, all of that kind of stuff. It's like, we're not just one thing here. We've really tried to open the door to a multitude of possibility, even to the point of reaching out like to the local schools, and there's opportunities for the kids, and they partner with other theaters. It's just amazing.
Absolutely. They truly took the concept of a community theater and made it into something that can foster just art, community, and expression
100%.
Entirely. Yeah. It's shout outs to you guys, Matt and Christy, absolutely. Owners of the Blue Macaroon Theater.
Christy, oh my goodness.
Well, guys, anything else you want to talk about?
Buy tickets.
Buy.
Come
well, of course,
theater.
we're gonna tell everyone and their mother to buy tickets.
This was fun.
It's been pretty fun.
This is cool. Yeah.
Well, then I think we're going to call it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys for being my first interviews for this podcast,
you're welcome.
the Blue Stage Podcast.
I was just thinking the same thing, Jodie. Thank you for letting us be your guinea pigs.
I needed it. Obviously. Yeah. Thanks for listening to the Blue Stage Podcast, guys. This has been Tara Martens, Jodie Amiot, and your host, Tyler Ferrebee. Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.
The Missing Case of Lady Abernathy at the Blue Macaroon Theater runs the weekend of June 19th through June 21st. For tickets and more information, visit BlueMacaroonTheater.com. Our sponsor for the Blue Stage Podcast is Ascent Audiology and Hearing at 390 Robinson Avenue, Suite B in Barberton, Ohio. Specializing in hearing aids and diagnostics, Ascent Audiology is committed to providing a superior experience in achieving better hearing for you. To make an appointment, give them a call at 330-776-5421.